A man shouldn't submit to God for his own benefit. He should submit to God for the benefit of those who are directly connected to him.
Good spin.
Hell of a spin.
So
Seem like you've been doing this for a while.
this is
Not
this is
another
the
no look pass.
Yeah, no book.
but this is the question. I think this is the biggest question that we have to address first, because everybody doesn't believe in God,
For sure.
and so what do we say for those people? Or everybody doesn't believe in the same God. What do we say to those people? That's a question.
I think it still stands.
How so?
I'm not sure if it stands, because everybody believes different things when it comes to like their religion. You know what I'm saying? Some people glorify certain aspects in which another religion frowns upon it. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as the Muslim faith having more than one woman, and the Christian family is, you know what I'm saying? They don't believe that. So, how would a woman feel about that? As far as her trying to submit to a man that believes in more than one woman?
They do it.
They
But that's
definitely.
only if they believe that faith.
Not really, because everybody God is different. So my God is like
That's my point.
the universe, my subconscious, what's inside of me, my soul. You know what I'm saying? So if I can't submit to myself, what's inside of me, my thoughts, then I can't submit to a woman.
Well, you
You're
no,
not gonna
it ain't.
submit
It
to a
ain't.
woman.
It ain't. You submit to her. It's
It's her submitting to you.
her submitting to you.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah,
that was
after
the
you
question.
submit,
Yeah.
after you
Well, yeah,
submit,
same thing.
All right. So here's my thing, right? Because we do got to answer, like, what does submitting to God look like? Also, because that's a question many people don't ask. So it almost never gets answered unless you're like a freaking church goer or something, and then they give you their religious
Yeah.
ideas about it. But I do believe that a man should be submitted to God, not only for his own benefit, but for everybody directly connected to him, whether it's his wife, his brothers, family, mother, especially his children. And so, and Ebony asked, she said, if a man wants a woman to submit to him, should he first be submitted to God? And so, without getting all real religious and everything, because we know what I believe, you have to have some kind of humility and governing source that keeps you grounded. Something that gives you a foundation. So, like, let's challenge this. Say everybody said that, my thoughts, my spirit, my energy is the God that I submit to, right? Who would be wrong in this world?
You saying who can challenge that?
Yeah, who would be wrong? Like, how do we know that you're right in what you're doing and that I'm wrong in what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Because I could say the strong desires that I have and the thoughts that I have could make me want to murder a lot of people, commit genocide, and most people will say, "Nah, that ain't right." But this is what I'm submitting to. This is my foundation. This is what I'm submitting to. Whether it's immoral, who can tell me that? If my thoughts rule me and my thoughts and what I believe is my God, who can tell me that what I'm doing is wrong?
Nobody.
Nobody, but people gonna say
Nobody can
that's
tell
the
you.
devil's work.
Is it not?
Only those who do not believe what you believe.
That's like saying what we talked about, like where we come from, right? We in a small box. In that example, is like if somebody believes murder, that's what they, you know what I'm saying,
what they
quote
believe.
unquote worship
Accustomed
on.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
They're accustomed to it. So like once they branch out of that community or wherever they're at, if somebody shows them something new that isn't the norm for them, maybe that'll kind of show, quote unquote, that they're in the wrong direction, I guess.
What you think, Jigs?
I mean, as far as the submitting to the Lord first before a woman can submit to you, I'm not sure if that's the whole reason you submit to a man, only because of the religious part. I mean, it's a role thing.
So I
Completely that. It's like
I think it's
saying,
important.
it's like if a woman is submitting to God, should I submit to the woman too because she submitted to God?
Nah,
Or
so
should a
I go.
woman submit to another woman because the other woman's with the Lord? Like,
nah, see, so all right, so that's where we address that idea of what submittance looks like. So I know what Ebony believes, and I know why she asked that question. So a woman that's submitted to God, you can't be submitted to God if you're not submitted to your husband, and that's where a lot of women of faith, that's where they have their issue at. Like that's why she asked that question: should a man be submitted to God first? Because a woman that's submitted to God, for the order that the God that they believe in set up, they would have to be submitted to their man, or they would be wrong. And for that man to be submitted to God means that he will be looking out for their complete best interest,
Yeah.
his own best interest and her best interest,
But you would
that she'll be
hope-
protected. And so reason being is because in the Christian faith, we have a perfect God, right? And it's not about following rules, it's about this relationship with him, right? And so he knows, if he knows everything that is right for us, that is fine for us. It's like playing a game of football, right? You can't score unless you stay in bounds. It's not the rules that said you got to stay in bounds, but it's for the benefit of the game. It's to show, how do I want to say this? It's to show that the only way to be successful is to stay within these
these lines.
these lines, these parameters, these
like
guidelines.
guidelines,
It's
yeah.
best for your benefit. This is what's healthy for you. This is what's right for you. This is what's good for you in here. And so it's not because you could break the rules. You know, you could do what you want. Ain't nobody tell you that you can't run out of bounds. You can run out of bounds. You just ain't gonna get the desired results.
Right.
You might get something else. And so with their belief, because it seems like a lot more women believe in God more than, this is just what I see in my experience. A lot more women, they have like their foundation and everything in this spirituality than men. And I guess that's because we just have a big old bravado and ego. Like we can take care of shit. We don't need a governing source or whatever.
You think church is like the doctor for men?
Nah. I don't. You already know I can't stand church.
You know, some people don't.
I'm a
like,
believer, but I just
Some
don't.
people don't like the doctor. Like they say, most men don't go to the doctor. Most men don't go to church. You're gonna see more women in church than you're gonna see men.
You do.
You're gonna see more women in the doctor's office than you're gonna see men.
You do. And I think, and that's the humbling part right there. If you could humble yourself to something that's gonna, I can't even. It's hard to even explain. Like the things that I've just experienced in my life, I just can't deny it.
But that's where I would go
Like,
with it with it's humble. Like in my eyes, like I submit to God, right? And my wife, you know, submits to me. But like if I didn't submit to God, that's like I have to humble myself for one to like be like, all right, I can be like, I got my life in my control. Like there's nothing I can do or control in my life. But that's false as hell. Like at the end of the day, like, I gotta go in and be like, listen, I believe in that you got whatever happens in my life, I know you're doing it for the best, if that
Yeah.
make any sense. That's how I look at it. Like instead of like being like,
I got another question for y'all too.
go ahead.
I feel
Hold
like
on. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Niche.
go ahead, go ahead.
You said me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like two people who don't submit to God can live happily ever after.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
I'm
happening.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying my way is the only way. I'm just saying.
No, it has
Through his-
happened. And you know what I believe? I believe they unconsciously live under, for one, marriage, the traditional marriage, the marriage that we believe God set up, he will still honor that. It's an institution that he set up. It's like reaping and sowing. He put that out there. That's like a universal law now. I put that out there, I'm gonna honor it. What you sow, you will reap. Like people want to call it karma, whatever. It's just a universal law. It's just like marriage. He set up this institution of marriage. You're still doing it within the confines that he set up, so he's still going to honor it. Now, a lot of people, they know how to, they're showing that unconditional love, that unconditional godly love to each other without knowing that that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
And he still honors that. But go ahead, Jason. Before I say go ahead.
All right, so when choosing a partner, you're not really looking into their religion most times. So when you choose them, it's more than likely what you see in them, how you feel about them, and what you see in front of you. Like if you're attracted to.
You talking for yourself, or because I asked?
I'm about to say,
Okay, nah,
I'm about to say,
saying
I definitely-
outside, I'm saying outside of you asking, right? You still don't really know them fully yet
I mean,
until you are like with them on a regular basis and watching them, right? So I'm gonna ask you this: is it possible that even when a man, whether he's submitted to God or not, we all are born in sin. This man can still fall off the wagon. This man can still fall off the wagon. So whether he's submitting to God or not, why is it that you feel as though he needs to be submitted to God when it's whether he's good or bad, he can fall off or get on the wagon?
all right, because you have a better chance with a guy that is
You think so?
100%. You want to take the path of least resistance. So
Really?
if she's convinced that you're,
I don't believe that.
what, take the path of least resistance, then life gonna be hard. Life will be harder.
No,
when
I
you don't.
mean least resistance is cool, but I mean,
All right, so put it like
people
this:
who
if
go
because
and-
let's just use an
oh, so you
example.
said submissive to God, not people who go to church.
I'm not.
So,
I'm not.
yeah, that's
I ain't
two
talking
different
about.
things.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
two different
yeah,
things.
two different
I'm
things.
not talking about.
I don't
church.
go to church.
My mind took me.
Yeah,
My
like
mind took me.
Yeah.
You right.
I'm not. That's
But
not.
how
I
can
hate
you
church.
know if
I don't go to
your
church.
partner's
I don't go to
submitted to
church for
God?
church. You say what?
How can you know?
Your life will show it. And so here's because it's challenging. And so here's the thing also, like a man that's truly submitted to God or whatever will not violate this woman.
there you go. That's what I was gonna say.
He will intentionally not. He will look at her
Best interest
as
at heart.
as also a child of God. He will not violate that woman before it is his time to be joined with her.
He is also human.
He is.
Human doubts, human,
And humans fall.
Feelings.
Humans fail.
all that. Now I'm not saying fail, but in doubt, a lot of things go through your mind, man.
But that don't mean he's not submitted to God. It's just things happen.
That just means he's a
I
human
tell
being.
you what, a woman can make a man who is submitted to God fucking crazy.
No, she
They
can't.
can make any man fucking crazy.
No, she can't.
Explain yourself.
I don't believe
give
anybody.
me-
I don't believe anybody outside of you can make you anything.
Explain yourself. That
That's
sound
a-
like that's
Hold up, but
that sound
that's
like rebellion.
that's a benefit of being submitted to God. I don't
Nobody can
lose my
shake you.
peace or my sanity because of somebody else. Nah.
So
I
who are
don't.
you? Who are you?
And I had
worried
to- and
about
I- and I had to
submitting
live
you?
through
A
that.
woman you don't care for, or a woman you care for.
So
If you
hold
care
up. It's
for a
not. It's
woman-
not for every woman to submit to you. It's for your
No, no, no.
woman. It's for
That's-
your
that's my
wife.
point. So that means you care for her.
Oh.
So a woman you care for can't make you crazy. Is that what you telling me?
Yes.
Makes no sense to me, but okay.
Hold on. So
I
you,
mean, it's he's a different person. Just like me. Like if I'm not, if I don't want to deal with this shit, like she can curse me out, she can throw shit at me.
Mm-hmm.
You think I'm gonna retaliate?
No, I ain't talking about retaliation.
No, I'm saying,
talking about
me-
you being crazy.
She can't make me go
Throwing you
crazy.
off.
Yeah,
See,
she can't.
She
yeah.
can't make me retaliate.
I
She
ain't
can't
talking
make
about
me.
you harming nobody.
Okay, she can't make me have crazy thoughts. I'll just leave, nigga. But I'm gonna stay there and just go motherfucking snap on her ass.
I'm talking
yeah,
about snapping.
give me an example of crazy because like
Disturbing your
look,
peace.
I'll tell you this, but I'm not
That's-
gonna say no names for the sake of the family.
Disturbing your peace.
My man, mother, and his father been married for a long time, right? He my age. My man, he our age. His mother put his father through the ringer almost all my man life. I'm talking about you name it, she done it. Real disrespectful and everything. And his father was a pastor. His father pastor now, and he wouldn't, because he submitted to God. He refused to break her neck.
You ain't gotta break
He
nobody's neck
refused
be
to.
crazy.
No,
You think he wasn't stressed? That what you telling me?
of course he would be stressed.
in life you're gonna be
But his eyes is not on the effects of what she's doing. It's not on, his focus is not on what she's doing to him.
Oh, it's on.
The
you.
only reason he is able to sustain and keep moving how he's moving
You can move
is
forward
because
through
he's
it,
he's
but
submitted to God. Everybody
move
don't have,
forward through
but look, everybody doesn't have that ability, and everybody doesn't have that tight relationship with God to be able to do this also.
Oh, of course.
But God does give you the wisdom to know who you need to join yourself with too. If you
Really?
if you
for
seeking,
sure.
hell yeah.
You said if you seek him.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Okay.
See, that's
All right,
so
all
that's
right.
what a submitted man looks like. Also, like you make your own decisions. Like God doesn't give me, when I pray and I ask for direction or I ask for answers, God don't always give me like answers like do this, go this way, such and such.
You just gotta walk.
But yeah, a lot of times you just gotta walk and you just gotta have faith that all right, this is what I'm gonna do. The one thing that I do know that God told me is whatever decisions you make and whatever you're doing, you gotta move in honor. He said, I'm not gonna touch nothing, I'm not gonna bless nothing if it's in dishonor. So if I'm trying to move in lies and deceit or in greed or any of that, he's like, I ain't got nothing to do with that. But whatever you put your hands to that's honorable, you know, you can find me in it. It ain't saying, hey, do this just like this. Be real specific. Detail 1, 2, 3, 4. It ain't just like that. But what I do know is I'm not going to cross somebody for my own benefit because I know God ain't going to honor that.
Understood.
And see, and a lot of remember I keep telling y'all about brain size and capacity. It's like that for everybody. Like I know the type of woman that I need. She can't be like one of these basic bras out here. It won't work for me.
You wouldn't figure to yourself like maybe it's your calling to bring somebody up and grow their brain.
Nah,
We talked about that last week too, right?
kinda. But nah, I don't believe that. And I tried that. And he showed me like you can't, not being funny, and I'm not. But like a bird brain ain't for you. Like you need a strong authoritative woman. She gonna have to be about it. My wife gonna have to be able to check me like I said, gracefully. Like she's just gonna have to know, and I just can't have like no regular
I know
woman.
What
Like
Shit, I know firsthand. Them bird brains, man. I started turning into one. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thesis right there.
I needed somebody to challenge me. Fuck that.
For sure.
and that's another thing too. So women,
So how do you shop for something other than a bird brain?
I don't, man. I'm not looking. God told me recently, focus on yourself. So I'm not even looking for whatever comes may come.
I
And
feel
I
like
thank for it, but I'm
I feel
not
like
looking
when you're
for
not
one
looking,
right now.
that's when you find it.
It's hard, son.
You might be right around
I
the
be,
corner.
nigga. I could have been married by now. I had asked 2 of my exes before. I was like, if I would ask you to marry me, would you have? Both of them was like, yeah. I don't have a bad rapport with any of my exes. But when I look at it, I'm like, it's no way I could have married them. Not saying anything bad about them, but it's just I know what I'm called to, the type of individual that I am, and what you're going to have to endure. Like she's going to have to be very strong. Like how we talk about having best friends of opposite sexes and all that. Not every woman could deal with that. Not every man could deal with that. She's going to have to be real secure in herself. And that's another thing about being submitted to God. She trusts that I'm submitted to God. She know that I won't violate that relationship. She knows that I won't violate her because she's like, I got a man that's submitted to God. I'm not worried about that at all.
Yeah. And submitted to God to me, like when I say like my wife, like you said, like she knows that she can count on me on anything. Like if I say we're gonna make this right, I'm not gonna drive us off the cliff. But like it's my responsibility to submit to God, meaning like humble myself and make sure I protect her in any means necessary.
Yeah.
So like that means outside her name, anything. Like I can't do anything that harms her in general.
Yeah.
I understand.
And not just like protect her physically,
Yeah, mentally,
but
yeah.
emotionally,
For
all
sure.
that. Like really knowing her, because the women want to be able to trust us, just like we want to trust them with our vulnerabilities. They want to be able to be completely naked with us
Yeah.
and trust that we have their benefit at heart. Like we want the complete best for them.
Like not to put it in this sense, but like it's like our parents, for example, right? So like I'm gonna talk for myself, my parents, for example, like they would have starved themselves to death for us to eat. That's like pretty much what I'm saying. Like all means necessary. Everything goes to her pretty much. So like your kids, your 2 daughters, you do anything for them, right?
Of course I would.
So it's the same damn thing.
Okay.
It's the same thing, bro. What's so scary about submission? It's
Not scary.
What you?
It's just, you know.
I think you.
A lot of it's
you thinking too
misunderstood.
much. Yeah, you thinking too much into it.
A lot of it's misunderstood, but that's why I said it's not about rules. It's more about relationship, because
It was
you
more
can't.
about the relationship for me. That's
Yeah.
That's all I
I'm talking
have.
about. That's all I'm talking
Yeah.
about. So when I think about like my role, right, and like the things that I'm supposed to do for my lady, I'm not thinking like, the only reason I'm doing this or the reason I'm going to do this is because you're completely, you know what I'm saying, faithful to the Lord, and you completely this, it's completely that. Because you can be completely faithful to the Lord, and we just don't get a fucking along.
Yeah, but your relationship ain't dependent on that. Hers is. That's what she's saying. That's what we're saying. Her
Okay.
relationship with you is dependent on that. You the head. You the leader. You're the one supposed to be covering her. She can have a relationship with God and you can't.
Mm-hmm.
And the relationship could still be fucked up because you're not leading in the direction that she needs you to lead her in.
But and I feel that, but that's not going to change my role to her. If my role to her is wrong, my role to her is wrong.
Right.
Regardless of what she does to me, my role to her is wrong. So if I am perfect or if I am wrong and you are not submitting to me for whatever reason you give yourself not to submit, it's wrong. Regardless of if I'm submitting to the Lord.
I
or
agree.
not.
I do agree.
We got roles to one another, and if I'm following my role, whether I'm wrong or right, it's on you whether you leave or you stay. If you stay, you submit.
But look, I'm talking about in marriage.
For sure.
So should no woman be completely submitted to no man that she ain't married to?
Okay.
So
That's asking a lot.
yeah,
Not completely submitted,
It's
but
definitely-
some
yeah.
somewhat.
No, that's why I said
Somewhat.
Yeah, I get what you're
that's why I
saying.
said my woman is
Somewhat.
going to
Yeah.
show me
That
she's
she can
going
be
to a certain
submissive.
level of some
That she
before
has
I ain't saying
those
completely,
characteristics.
like,
yeah.
Whatever you like.
Whatever you like. Like, no.
Yeah.
That's not even what submission mean, but
Yeah.
I mean, it is. That's just like excessive. That's
that's what I mean. That's a that different degree. Like,
That's
Yeah.
what we need to bring back.
Oh, shit.
that's why she was like, I hate him.
who said that?
My
She ain't
cousin
hit-
said
She ain't here to psych, not psych nah.
She ain't hit
She ain't
the
see
second.
the, yeah, she must ain't see the psych 9 episode.
Now, shit, no one knows. That's funny.